Clint, Morgan. For coming tonight.
Thank you.
It's all yours.
Thank you. So I believe that everyone has a spark within them. That is designed for greatness. I believe that greatness is expressed through everyone in their own freaky uniqueness. And I believe it's our mission to fully unleash and express that to the world. And I have no fucking idea how to do that. Well, that's a thought that runs through my mind here and there. Who's ever had that thought? Who the fuck am I? Why am I here? What is this bullshit? Who are all these fucking people? Why are they all looking at me? Like I'm a freak. And so that's the journey. The journey is recognizing that voice. What is the truth? Who am I? How do I express that in the world? What is authentic to me? And that's the beautiful part about the world and how it was designed, is that everyone is different. Everyone is unique. Everyone has their own expression. Stop fucking clicking at me. I'm a bit, who's a rebel? Who's a rebel? So the clicking thing I'm still trying to adopt. The rebel in me is like, fuck all this clicking shit. But then the other part of me is like, I really love this clicking thing. So that's the battle, right? And I think that's the battle with the rebel, right? Because most people are rebelling against their life, against their purpose, against their true spiritual quest, fighting against the real reason they're actually here. They're using their innate rebel skill to say no to life, a big fat no to their purpose. Is this you? Have you not fully owned your mission? Perhaps you are just dipping your toes in, afraid to let go of everything you know and surrender to the quantum flow of life. Let go of your job, your location, your career, your beliefs of how it should be. Totally change paths and did that soul lighting up passion, that big yes to life mission that's in your heart. You know the one. It whispers to you softly. It speaks through you. You get excited by it. You get magical ideas and downloads, yet something holds you back. It's the rebel. The rebel saying, no, I won't lead, I won't live, I won't give it my all. Why? Perhaps you are scared of failing, scared of what the world may think of you. Perhaps it's just so fucking big you don't know where to start. Let me tell you a little secret. The ideas won't stop, the pain won't stop, the whispers, the premonitions, the visions, the sleepless nights, the should I not do it, the what if I fail and lose it all. It won't stop till you get old, too frail, too slow, and then you die. Having lived a life, but you never truly lived. So don't wait another day. Use that rebel skill within you to change the world, for it was only the rebels who ever did. The believers, the fighters, the creators, the uniters. So get out there and live. I'm asking you to close your eyes. Just breathe with me. If you want to sniffle like that, you can. And this is something that my son taught me. So my son, he walks around lately and he's just learned his ABCs. So he walks around going A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. And it's super cute. And but there's some magic and there's some wisdom in it. So with your eyes closed, just in your mind, recite A, B, C, D. Now, the profanity is not within the letters or the sounds of the letters. The profanity is within the silence and the space between the letters. So now recite it again, taking note and feeling the space between the A and the B and the C and the C and the D. I'm just feeling that space. Allow yourself to get lost in it. Allow yourself to imagine in it. Allow yourself to envision, to create, to master, to magnify, to let go, to respond, to be, to flow. Now bring yourself back to the room. So that nothingness, that beingness, that stillness, that spaciousness is a place we all have access to. Yet, with all the bullshit that we're fed throughout the day, through our mobile phones, through Facebook, through 5G, through technology, through people, through people's agendas, through the government, through all the bollocks that's been thrown at us from day to day, which we don't really have control over, but we do have control over how we respect our space. And so by going within that spaciousness is a beautiful way that you can do that. And a more empowering, or a more powerful place that you can do that is by really allowing yourself to escape from the technology, from the people, from all that noise and chatter, is to allow yourself to have some time within nature. Who does that? Who allows themselves to have some time in nature? Like consciously goes out, disconnects to reconnect, and spend some time away from technology, away from their phone, away from their computers, and just be with nature. This chord's really fucking annoying. You guys need to up level to those cordless ones. But it's called... What do you do?
Put it in front of you.
Oh, okay, that's good. Okay, that's pretty good. I like it. Teamwork. It's good. Genius. Why didn't I think of that? Idiot. So leadership. Who's the leader? Everyone put your fucking hand up. Conscious leaders. There's no accident that you guys are here. So I want to speak about tonight what leadership means to me. And to me, leadership is mastery of self. That's all. Period. It's not about how many people you're leading. It's not about how big your team is. It's not about how much money you have in your bank account. It's not about how big your organization is. It's not about how much impact you've made in the world. It's mastery of self. Now that can look like, that can express in a big team, in a big bank balance, in a big organization, in a big movement. It can for some, and for others not. I used to be disillusioned in thinking that for me to be successful, I had to be making a massive impact to the planet, or I had to be like really changing people's lives, or I had to have a big team and a big business that was successful. And it wasn't until earlier in the year, and I journeyed to India. Who's ever been to India? A few people. I highly recommend spending some time in India. I spent 2 weeks there. And it was hectic. It's a hectic place. It's intense. However, their intensity has a calmness about it. And they're so devoted to something greater than the 3D reality that we live in. And there's people there that they're having a profound impact on the consciousness of the planet, and they are nobody. Literally nobody. There's someone that's living on the streets, they have nothing, they have rags, they don't have any money, they don't have a big crowd, they don't have followers, they don't have Facebook. Yet they're making a massive impact to the planet due to their state of being. Now, I'm not saying that you need to go to India and live on the streets and become nobody. But what I'm saying is that everybody's unique expression is different. And just because someone's leading a big team, or someone's has a big organization, or someone is a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, whatever, doesn't mean that you have to be too. Because everyone has their own unique expression. Now, people often tell me that I'm funny.
You are.
And then people when I'm there interviewing me or they want me to speak, they're like, now can you be funny? And I don't know, I feel a bit of pressure with that. Do I mean funny looking? Do I want to make people laugh? Because who's seen my funny videos? Do you know the funniest thing about those videos? They're not meant to be funny. They're serious. Trying to deliver a serious message? No, they're meant to be funny, just taking the piss. So if you haven't already yet, Clint X Morgan, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, follow me. I do some pretty funny shit. It's funny when you speak. Who here's done some speaking? Hands up high. That's awesome. I think like part of leadership is speaking, and I'll tell a story in a moment about my speaking journey. But what I've noticed, and I don't know if this is like all speakers, but have you noticed that like do you walk like back and forth? So before I was speaking, I was actually 18 kilos overweight, but since speaking, I've lost 18 kilos.
It's actually called the Tony Barber syndrome.
The Tony Barber syndrome. It's a fucking syndrome now. Shit. I thought it was like a speaking thing. You had to walk back and forth to like look smart. So I shouldn't be walking. I'm gonna sit down. Fuck that syndrome. Tony Barber. Fuck you. does he think he is? So, years ago, when I went to school, I was super nervous, right? Hated social situations. I hated anytime you had to put your hand up and speak in front of the class, I'd get super nervous. Even though I had something to say, I would always hold myself back because, I don't know, I didn't want to get laughed at. I didn't know what people think of me. I would get this quiver in my voice anytime I was speaking in public. And so because of that, I avoided the situation. I just I started to hold myself back. I wouldn't speak. I wouldn't, put myself in those situations. And, there we go. There's a sweet spot, on the chin. Alex told me to put it on the chin, but I've totally disobeyed him. There's the rebel. Fuck that rebel. It's better, right? It sounds better, yeah. Just put me into line, bro, if I have it off the chin. I feel really rigid now, sort of like it's like a handle. It's a handle for my face. Does someone want to come and hold my head up? And what was I talking about? So when I was a child, or when I was at school, I was super nervous. Anyway, I remember I sort of avoided it. And then when I turned about 16, I discovered alcohol. I was like, holy shit, this thing gives you confidence. You can talk to people, this stuff's great, Yeah, you get a hangover the next day, but who cares, I can go out, I can socialize, I can feel confident. I was like, this is great. Who invented this is a genius. And so it became my best friend. And then I started to use it too much. And then I started to realize there was other things that you could use on top of that to make it better or worse. And next thing you know, I'm, quite heavily into drugs and alcohol. And I was using it as at a crux to feel confident in social situations. Essentially, that's what I did. A party was coming up or a place where I had to be around other people. It's okay, let's have a few drinks. And then I'd start to feel good. I could talk to people. I felt okay. And when I was about 24, I was working in a job and I hated it. Actually, no, I loved it, right? I loved it, and then I went overseas. Who's ever worked in a job, thought they loved it, and then went traveling? And I did a big tour around Europe, left home for 15, 16 months, went to all these different countries, had all these amazing experiences, came back to my job and I was like, this job sucks. I was like, this job really sucks. I was like, I just want to be traveling again. I want to be out there. I don't want to be, caged in an office. That's how I felt anyway. There we go. Water. And so I had a partner at the time. This is when I moved to Brisbane. I used to live in Brisbane, actually. I used to live in Milton. Who's from Milton? Paddington? Yes! Paddo! Fully sick. The Paddo, what's the one up there? The Paddo. It's called the Paddo. Yeah, the Paddo. They do crab racing or pig racing or it's crazy shit, yeah. I remember going into the Paddo one day and I was like, holy fuck, you guys have a buffalo put in here. I was like, that's epic. When did you get that? They're like, it's always been there. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. That's awkward. And what was I talking about again? See, my mind goes on tangents. Travel. And I think it's this handle on my chin. And so anyway, so I traveled, came back to my job and moved to Brisbane. And my girlfriend at the time was like, you should be a personal trainer. I think I talked about it or whatever. And she was nudging me. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do this personal training course. And I enrolled to become a personal trainer. And I was excited about it because I had a friend that was a personal trainer and he was working on his own time, working on his own terms. He was making about $3,000 a week. I was like, $3,000 a week. I was like, holy shit. I was like, I'd be like a billionaire on $3,000 a week. I was like, how does someone even spend that much money in a week? Anyway, so I was blown away talking to him. He goes, yeah, it's really easy. He only worked about 25 hours. I was like, man, 25 hours? You get $3,000 a week for working 25 hours? Like, here I am slaving my ass. You know, I was earning $50,000 a year or something like that, which is after tax, it's like $750 a week, working 40 hours. I was like, this is great. I'm going to work less time but make more money. So I enrolled in the course and who's a personal trainer? Anyone a personal trainer? Yeah, cool. Got a couple in the house. Have you heard of Max College? Or it used to be AIF, and then it turned to Max. Anyway, went down there. Super cool. And but what I discovered is that this was like being back at school. And they were asking you questions. You had to put your hands up. You had to do shit that was outside your comfort zone, like pitch an idea or what's it called, venture capitalist raise and things like that, like things to encourage you to like how it's going to be in business, because it wasn't just about the training. They really had a business model, which was awesome, but it then triggered all that shit that I started rejecting at school and I used to drink for, and I couldn't show up at the fucking PT class drinking a bottle of whiskey. You know what I mean? It just would have been weird. And so I had to face my fears. All of a sudden I'm back in this thing, in this situation where I was outside my comfort zone and having to face these fears of being seen and putting myself into these uncomfortable situations. And I remember there was a module or a thing where you had to pitch this venture capitalist thing and you had to speak in front of the group. And it might have been 20 people in the class, something like that. And I literally didn't sleep for a whole week prior. Like, I was so nervous. It was like I was thinking of quitting. I was like, this sucks. I don't want to do this. Anyway, so something led me to do it. I was like, I need to pass. I'm going to do this thing. So anyway, I prepared some notes, didn't sleep prior, got up there and just literally sped read through this thing, like this pitch. Sped read it, and then looked out at the crowd and I was like, thank fuck that's over. And I went and sat down, put my thing down. And I was like, that was horrendous. And they ended up passing me. They said, Clint, you could have done better, work on your speaking skills and things like that. But I got a pass. Anyway, so got a pass, thought, okay, I never have to speak again, that's sweet. And then I opened a gym. So anyway, I got into personal training. I did my 3K a week. I was like, fuck yeah, 3K a week. I was like, this isn't as much money as I thought it was. And I'm not a billionaire. And anyway, it was super cool. And but then I was like, okay, what's the next thing? So I opened up a gym. And opened up a gym with a business partner, and we thought it'd be a great idea to hold a party, like it's an opening party. We opened a gym, let's have a party. And I'm like, because I'm a little bit social awkward, like I love being around people and it's really great. Like I've had more hugs tonight than I have in the last 10 years. So thank you for everyone that hugged me. That was great. I think I've hugged everyone here, some people 2 or 3 times. It's really great, the space that you guys have created. Like, there's so much love. I really respect and honour everything that you guys have done, and you guys that created it in the Gold Coast and brought it up here. And this is like a really powerful movement. So I'm super inspired by everything that you guys are doing. And, obviously it's the leadership that's driving the ship, but without the community, then, no one would be fucking here and everyone would be speaking to themselves and it'd be really weird. So without you guys, thank you. On behalf of them and me, because I'd be speaking to myself likewise if I was showing up. I don't know, just be weird. What was I talking about again? Party. Oh yeah, that's right, the party. Genius idea. I'm like, because part of me loves socializing and I love people, but then there's that other part of me that's like, oh fuck, I've got to be around people again. And, I'd really prefer just to stay at home and be in my own space. Can anyone relate to that? Yeah, who's classed themselves as an introvert? Yeah, a lot of people. I think it's like, I don't know what the numbers are split, but a lot of people introverted, a lot of people extroverted. It doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter, but I'm more introverted than extroverted. People say, you're more extroverted, but the truth is I prefer my own space. I reserve and recharge by being in my own solitude and reflecting and meditating and being around that, but then I also love being around people and connecting with others, and I think it's a good balance. But for an introvert, I prefer that scale. And so we have a party. I'm like, cool, party, nice. And because of I'd sort of started to slow down on the drinking side of things, so I didn't have that as a crux. And then some genius, and I actually think it was me that suggested this idea. I was like, why don't we say a few words each, And as I said, I was like, fuck, idiot. And so my business partner thought it was a great idea, and we had 6 PTs that were working there as our staff, and so we thought it would be a great idea if everyone just got up and shared, why this is important to them, what they see, what's their vision inside our vision. And So I prepared a speech, wrote down on a bit of paper, and everyone else got up and did their thing, and I was last. There was our friends, our clients, our staff, our friends' friends, our family, my ex-partner was there, all in this space, and there was about 80 people there, so I don't know, probably how many people are here, 80, 50? Anyway, it doesn't matter. There was a lot of people there, and so I got up to do this speech, and as I stood up, I pull out my notes, and my vision was blurred, and I literally, the words didn't come out of my mouth. Like as I went to speak, it was like I choked up so much, my throat clogged up, and the words didn't come out of my mouth. And as I was looking around, people were looking at me like, Clint. And I know all of them, they're like, thank fuck that's not me. And I had to literally just say thank you, then walk off the stage. Right? It was super embarrassing. Friends, clients, and I'm the leader. Do you know what I mean? It's my gym. It's my opening ceremony. Single most embarrassing moment of my life. And I spent the next week hiding under my covers. I didn't want to come outside. I didn't want to see the world. I didn't want to face anything. And it was a really challenging time. Yet, what it actually did was led me to go, I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I was like, I'm gonna learn how to speak. I'm gonna learn how to do this. And I'd heard stories of other speakers that had similar experiences and things like that. I'm like, maybe I just need to learn how to speak. And it was like, you know how shit just magically shows up when you're asking the right questions and at the perfect time. Someone sent me a message. Oh wait, I haven't got any clicks for ages. Am I talking shit? Yeah, talking shit. Okay, all right. Okay, that's my goal. More clicks. More clicks. It's a good feedback mechanism. And every time I say a joke and I go off tangent, I forget where I was at.
Most heroic part of your life.
What? Do you want to come up and fucking share this story? So someone sent me a message of a speaker training. I was like, holy shit, perfect, speaker training. I can learn how to speak. Anyway, so long story short, went to this speaker training, and the fear that came up actually going to the speaker training, I'm like, holy shit, they're going to ask me to speak at this speaker training. It's going to be the worst thing ever. Thank God they didn't. It was more like crafting the presentation, but I started to learn the skills, and I learned how to put together a presentation. And so I crafted a presentation, gathered a few people, and did this presentation. As I did it, same thing. Didn't sleep for a week prior, super nervous, thought it was going to be the most humiliating thing in my life again. But as I did it, and I envisioned there was going to be 60 people there, 3 people showed up. So I did this presentation to 3 people, but I actually enjoyed it. Because I sort of knew what I was talking about. I'd laid out this presentation, I'd practiced it really well. And as I was delivering, I was like, actually, as I finished, I was like, that was actually fun. I sort of enjoyed that. I was terrified prior and I was super nervous, but actually enjoyed it. And so I then just began to keep doing it. Keep doing workshops, inviting people to speak. And I started to then put my hand up for things. And then I remember the big turning point in my life was when my cousin was getting married, and he called me up. He said, "Oi bro," he goes, "do you want to be the MC at my wedding?" And I was like, fuck yeah, that'd be awesome. And so that was a big turning point in my life, because I realized something that I was so fearful of, rather die than be in that situation. To then someone asked me to speak at a wedding in front of, 100 people, of friends, family, same situation, to me to go, fuck yeah, I'll do it. And I rocked it. I was awesome. And that's leadership. Thank you. That's leadership. That's leadership. Yeah. Hey. Out. So, and that's the basis of it. So I chose to heal something that was within me, and then I began to love it. Who's relating to something in this? Who's thinking of, fuck, something that I'm super scared of, maybe I need to lean into it? Because it's through those things that we're the most fearful of that our most transformation and healing happens. So I began to search for those things. What else am I fucking scared of? Women. You guys are fucking scary. Money. Camera. Speaking on camera, doing videos. Writing for my soul. Social media, personal branding, business, children. Fuck, who's got kids? Jeez, man, those things. Oh, who invented that system? Because I believe that the most rewarding things in life are also the most challenging. Who can relate to that? And I think we get lost in things trying to be easy, things trying to be good, things trying to be perfect. Is that a high 10 or I got 10 minutes? Okay. Fuck, time really flies up here, eh? So the thing that I would really love to share, and I think I was actually leading into it then. I was. It's perfect. That's the thing with coming here. Like, I've had to let go of like planning. I have an idea, and then that idea gets warped, and it gets clouded, and I lose clarity. I'm like, fuck, and then I beat myself up, and like, you know, getting up here can be challenging. But what I've realized is I just need to trust. And that's why who was here earlier was like, what's your intention is presence. Because when we're present, shit flows. The perfect thing moves through. And that's why I honestly feel now, like fast forwarding to now, like if you had told me that I'd be speaking to this group, I spoke at our Freedom Fest event in February this year. We had 900 people there. And I spoke there, and I was like a fucking rock star. It was like, I was like heaven on earth. It was like the most magical moment. I was like in flow. Everything went smoothly. The crowd received me well. I felt like a freaking rock star. I felt so much love, so much love. And it was magical, right? And if someone said to me, what was the most amazing moment of your life? That would definitely be top 2, right? That moment of being out there and being in flow and delivering a powerful message. And, but if you had told me 10 years ago that I'd be speaking on a stage to 900 people, I would have walked across that fucking room and knocked you the fuck out. And so we begin to trust in the perfection of our journey, because our soul knows, and our soul's taking us on this journey. And that's easy to say when shit's going well. It's not easy to admit when shit hits the fan, when we feel shame, when we feel guilt. That's when it's hard. But that's where the beauty is. When we can begin to master our emotions and realize that emotions that we have in the present moment are perfect and they're there for a meaning and a message, and they're helping us to move through something that's within us, because I believe that we came here to heal. And we came here to evolve. And we came here to dissolve. And so there's a new age thing of like always being light, or always being positive, or positive thinking. And I call BS on that. Because no matter how hard we try, that doesn't happen. That's not the reality of what we're living here. And nor do we want it to be the reality of what we're fucking living here, because that's why we came here. To have the experience and the polarity of everything. The ickiness, the yuckiness, the ups, the downs, the ins and outs, the support, the challenge. Because anything worthwhile in my life that I've created has had an equal balance of support and challenge. Like my child. Fuck, I love him. So much joy to my life. But fuck, does he push my buttons. Holy shit. And it can be like literally from instant, like one moment to the next. Like love to me, like going, and then vice versa. It's crazy. Same thing with business. You know, and the biggest triumphs is when shit's been hard, shit's been challenging. And like who's been through, like, I don't know if there's some, like, maybe it's because they rolled out 5G, I don't know, fucking who knows what, but the last couple of weeks, actually probably last week I came out of it, 2 weeks prior to that, I was in a deep dark hole. I was depressed, I didn't want to be here, I wanted out, I was like, life's really fucking hard, I didn't know who I was anymore, I was having an identity crisis, I was sad, I was lonely, I didn't want to be around anyone, people were triggering the fuck out of me. It was really hard. Yet what I realized throughout my life is there's beauty in those moments. And we spiral. Who's noticed we spiral? But what most people are doing is they're trying to avoid feeling that deeper pain by trying to feel good. And they're missing the magic of going deep and healing that core soul's wound. If you can hit it at the core, then you'll break the spiral. You'll break the cycle. So if you can allow yourself to actually go and dive deep on those emotions, rather than trying to push them to the side and judge them, or judge yourself for having them, thinking you're not doing it right, and allow yourself to go deep, it doesn't have to stay around very long. Not that the goal is not for it to stay around long, and not that you wallow in it, become a victim of it. But allowing yourself to be in that, and allowing yourself to actually praying and asking to go deeper. Like when you're in that shit and you feel sorry, you feel shame, asking to go deeper, to see more of it, to show you the core of it. Asking, praying, please, please, take me to the depths of this. Take me deeper. To the point where you're crying, you're wellering, you're screaming, you're kicking in a safe environment, and allowing yourself to feel, to truly feel. And then you can heal. Feel to heal. Feel to heal. And you know, it's not easy. But are the rewarding things easy? No, they come with challenge. And then it feels amazing. You come out of it, you heal. Like that was last week, I had this big breakdown. I went to some crazy places. I saw, like, without going into the details, but I was in a past life where I'd actually hung myself and left my family. And I felt the pain of that, the suffering, the shame, the remorse. And it was painful. But as I came out of it, there was tears of gratitude, there was love. And I was like, fuck, I got to feel that. I got to move through that, I got to heal that. And then that was like, it was like I kept praying and asking, and I went to the core of it. And since then, I've came back out. Now I'm fucking rocket fuel. I'm on fire, I'm gassed up, pumped up. You know, if I was doing this 2 weeks ago, I'd probably just up here crying. Or maybe I wouldn't have showed up. So allowing yourself to go deep, asking, praying for that guidance, praying to go deep. So you touch those deeper core wounds and emotions. And that's where the healing at, and that's leadership. Mastery of self. And you know, people tell me all the time I'm really light or I'm really inspired. I'm okay being myself. And that's through allowing myself to go through that journey. Because every time you touch on that, you feel some shames, you're allowed to feel and release it. So it's no longer stored within you. So people have this conflict, they have this shame that they're not honoring, they're not allowing themselves to feel, and so it stays stuck, it stays stagnant. They go on the fucking loop again until they come around, they get another opportunity. But then they push it down, they get stuck in their work, they get busy, they don't allow themselves to feel. They got this on, they got that on, I'll feel it later. No, if you can, feel it in the moment. As soon as it arrives, feel it. And so that's my message. Thank you. Thanks, bro.
Standing ovation, brother. Wasn't cute at all.
Well, I feel the next 5 years are going to get really interesting. Shit's speeding up. Like the rollout of technology and how things are advancing. You know, the rollout of, you hear me saying dropping 5G all the time. Like it's really bad. It's really fucked up what they're doing. And how they're using technology to grab our data, to know more about us than we know about ourselves. And so if I can have another message is like, don't buy into 5G. If you get a chance to get a phone with 5G, say no. Let's protest against that shit. I don't believe in it. It's fucking the world. It's fucking our children. Yet, it's a reflection of our speeded consciousness. Things are speeding up. So with light, or with dark comes light, and with light comes dark. So there's always a polar and opposite. So there's this speeding up of this 5G and all that. That's just the tip of the iceberg of what's really going on. But also over here, there's groups like this that are waking up, that are saying no, that are doing things different. They're becoming sovereign. They're not buying into that BS. They're realizing, they're questioning things. They're asking well, this doesn't fucking make sense. Why would I do this? Why would I buy into this system? And so with that, things are going to get exciting, challenging, crazy, but also exciting. So I feel with that, the next 5 years for myself is I can see myself moving to nature, disconnecting more, slowing down, being more present, creating amazing abundance, taking control of my finances to a whole new level. And I feel like we all have a responsibility to do that. And, just really being sovereign in ourselves, not relying on outside forces, not relying on the government, not relying on anything that we don't have within us. So that was sort of including all of us, but keep doing the work, keep expanding. For people that aren't doing the work, it's going to get really painful. People that are doing the work, it's going to get really exciting.
Powerful. Who wants to celebrate this man? Who's keen to celebrate?